Hey everybody, welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're going to be talking about
Yeah.
bouncing back from injuries
Right.
and coming back stronger than before.
Uh-huh.
So kind of like,
Yeah.
superhero origin stories, right?
Yep.
They go through some crazy ordeal and they emerge with these newfound abilities. But this time we're talking real life strategies
Right.
backed by a master strength coach,
Okay.
Clance Laylor.
Cool.
He's got this awesome blog post we're digging into,
Mm-hmm.
and it is just packed with insights from
Yeah.
his years working with elite athletes.
So it's not just for athletes, right?
Right.
What's fascinating here is that these principles apply to anyone facing a setback.
Yeah, you're thinking like,
Yeah.
I'm not training for the Olympics,
Uh-huh.
so what's in it for me?
Right.
Well, stick with us.
Yeah.
This is about building resilience, mental toughness,
Yeah.
understanding how your body recovers and adapts.
Uh,
We're talking about bouncing back from
yeah.
anything life throws your way.
And one of the most surprising takeaways
Right.
from Coach Clance is this idea of never stopping training,
Yeah.
even when you're injured.
I know, right?
Yeah.
At first I was like, hold on, shouldn't I be resting?
Mm-hmm.
But he makes a really compelling case for what he
thank you.
calls the crossover effect.
Think of it this way.
Okay.
Imagine you've injured your leg. Okay.
Yeah.
Working your upper body can actually send signals that stimulate healing in your leg.
Oh, wow.
It's like your body's own internal communication system.
That's so cool.
Makes you wonder what else our bodies are capable of, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
And Coach Clance illustrates this perfectly
yeah.
with a personal story about his daughter,
Mm-hmm.
Maya. She was on track for the national weightlifting team.
Wow.
Then, bam, a radial ulnar tendon tear.
Oh, no.
Devastating. Totally. I can't imagine the emotional blow
Right.
for both of them, especially with
man.
Clance being both,
Yeah.
her coach and her dad.
It's tough.
But instead of giving into despair,
Mm-hmm.
they decided to
Yeah.
make full recovery the priority.
Right.
No rushing back
Uh-huh.
before she was ready.
Right.
They worked closely with a specialist who, as Coach Clance describes, was blown away
Ah.
by their commitment.
Their approach is so inspiring,
Yeah.
and it highlights a key point.
Okay.
Avoiding pain in the injured area is crucial,
Okay.
but within those safe limits,
Yeah.
it's about finding ways to keep moving.
Yeah. Okay.
The body wants to heal,
Mm.
and movement can actually help that process.
That makes sense.
Right?
And that's where they got creative in the gym.
Mhm.
Maya couldn't do certain
Yeah.
exercises, so
Yeah.
they found alternatives,
Right.
single arm squats, step ups. They basically said, okay, what can we do? And it's not just about
Right.
finding alternative exercises.
Uh,
It's about the consistency and dedication
yeah.
they brought to her recovery,
Yeah.
treating it like an athlete's job,
Right.
as Coach Clance puts it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what?
Yeah.
Over a year later, she came back to weightlifting,
Okay.
broke records
Wow.
in her first competition back,
Yeah.
and hasn't stopped since.
That's awesome.
I mean, talk about a comeback story.
It's incredibly impressive,
Yeah.
but it also underscores that recovery isn't passive.
Right.
It takes work.
Mm-hmm.
And Maya's story is a testament to that.
Absolutely.
Right.
And that brings us to Coach Clance's
Yeah.
second component,
Right.
rebuilding full range of motion.
Yes. So once you're cleared by a doctor,
Right.
regaining mobility becomes the focus.
Okay.
That might involve breaking up scar tissue, which
Right.
can be uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
But Coach Clance talks about the importance of
Okay.
loading the range gradually. So basically,
Yeah.
you start with gentle stretches and movements
Okay.
and gradually increase the intensity
Mhm.
as your body adapts.
So for you, that might mean
Mm-hmm.
starting with simple stretches and then
Right.
over time working your way up
Mm-hmm.
to more challenging exercises.
This isn't a race.
Yeah.
It's about listening to your body
Uh-huh.
and being patient with the process.
He frames this so well.
Yeah.
He talks about seeing recovery as an opportunity
Mm-hmm.
to improve weaknesses and
Yeah.
build capacity,
Right.
not just sitting around and waiting.
Yeah.
This isn't about going back to where you were.
Uh-huh.
It's about exceeding your previous limits.
He's got such a positive spin on things. And, for anyone
Yeah.
who really wants to understand
Yeah.
the mechanics of movement,
Yeah.
he even recommended a few anatomy books.
Okay, cool.
We'll be sure to include those in the show notes for you.
Awesome.
I have to admit, though, sometimes I get lost in the anatomical details.
Yeah, he can get quite passionate about anatomy, can't he?
His enthusiasm is contagious.
Right.
He really drives home the importance of
Right.
work capacity,
Mm.
that ability to handle a greater volume and intensity of work over time.
Okay.
And that's where those real gains happen.
So we've covered the importance of consistent training, even while injured,
Yeah.
and the meticulous work of rebuilding range of motion.
Right.
But isn't there a risk of overtraining? I mean, where's the balance?
That's a great question. And Coach Clance addresses that by emphasizing the importance of listening to your body.
Okay.
It's about finding that sweet spot where you're challenging yourself without pushing too far and causing further injury.
Right.
It's about working with your body, not against it.
Right. So, okay, so we've talked about staying active and regaining that full range of motion.
Right.
But where does strength fit into all of this? I mean, you'd think lifting heavy weights would make you more prone to injury.
Right. That's what's so thought-provoking about Coach Clance's approach.
Okay.
He actually argues that strength is key to preventing injuries in the first place.
It's kind of like that old saying, what doesn't break you makes you stronger, but with actual science behind it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Coach Clance uses a great analogy.
Okay.
Imagine a football field with a bunch of kids running around. The weaker ones are way more likely to get hurt in a collision. Right.
Yeah, I get that. It's like the difference between a twig snapping and a sturdy branch bending under pressure.
And this applies to pretty much any sport or activity, even things we don't traditionally think of as strength dependent. Coach Clance emphasizes the importance of training those supporting muscles around the joints.
So if I've injured my knee, for example, building up the muscles in my hips and ankles could help prevent future problems.
Precisely. Those muscles provide stability and learn to contract quickly to protect you when you need it most.
Okay, so it's not just about brute force.
Yeah.
It's about building that smart, responsive strength.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Coach Clance actually has this benchmark.
Okay.
He uses the double bodyweight squat.
Okay.
He considers it a minimum requirement for all athletes, regardless of their sport.
Wait, even for golfers and tennis players?
I know it seems counterintuitive, but he brings it back to physics.
Okay.
Force. A stronger body can handle the unpredictable forces that come with any sport.
Yeah.
Sudden changes in direction, impacts, all those things put enormous stress on your joints. Yeah. And strength acts as your armor.
Wow, I never thought of it that way. So that double bodyweight squat, is that something you can do?
Well, I have to admit, the double bodyweight squat is a goal I'm still working towards myself. But Coach Clance's point is that we should all be striving for that level of strength and resilience.
So we've got these three pillars. Never stop training.
Yeah.
Even when injured.
Right.
Rebuild full range of motion meticulously. And build strength like it's your superpower.
Right.
But Coach Clance doesn't stop there.
I agree.
Doesn't. He also delves into the mental aspects of recovery.
He does.
And this is where it gets really interesting for anyone, athlete or not.
Right.
He talks about using an injury as an opportunity to address weaknesses, to come back even better than before.
Right.
He urges athletes to embrace the suck, to do the work, even when it's hard. And that's where the mental game comes in.
So it's not just about physical therapy and exercise. It's about mental fortitude and pushing through those challenging moments.
You know, it makes me think of how we approach challenges in other areas of our lives.
Right.
Like, if you're facing a setback in your career or a personal relationship, that same mindset of resilience and determination can help you get through it.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
And Coach Clance touches on nutrition as well, which is often overlooked.
Yeah.
Your body needs the right fuel to repair and rebuild. He stresses that even seemingly small things, a bad meal, a poor night's sleep, can have a big impact on performance.
So it's about making conscious choices
and
prioritizing those things that support your overall well-being.
Yes. And Coach Clance even goes as far as to say, champions are built by what they do in the dark.
Oh, wow.
Not when the lights are shining.
I love that quote.
Yeah.
It's about putting in the work consistently, even when no one is watching, so that when it's time to perform, you're ready.
It's a powerful message about dedication and discipline.
Yeah.
And he also encourages athletes to tune out the noise and distractions, especially those coming from social media.
Oh, yeah.
It's about focusing on your own journey and not comparing yourself to others.
Right. To recap Coach Clance's 3 key steps to recovery. Regain full range of motion, load the tissue appropriately, and build strength and speed.
And he makes this great point.
Yeah.
If it were easy, everyone would do it.
Right.
But it's that challenge, that pushing through adversity that builds true strength, both physically and mentally.
It really is about the journey, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it makes you think, what can we as everyday people take away from all this?
We may not be dealing with torn tendons or aiming for double body weight squats.
Right.
But those principles of resilience, mindset, and consistent effort apply to all of us.
Absolutely.
Think about the setbacks you face in your own life. Challenges at work, relationship hurdles.
Yeah.
Even just those days when you feel like you're hitting a wall.
Yeah.
Coach Clance's wisdom offers a roadmap for navigating those tough times.
It's like he's saying, don't just sit there and wallow.
Right.
Figure out what you can do.
Yeah.
Focus on those small wins. And keep moving forward.
Exactly. And remember, it's not about comparing yourself to others.
Right,
It's about focusing on your own progress, celebrating your own victories, and embracing the process.
So whether you're recovering from a physical injury, working towards a personal goal, or just looking to build that inner strength, Coach Clance's insights can really...
He really emphasizes that it all comes down to doing the work, even when it's hard, even when you don't see immediate results.
Okay.
That's where true growth happens.
It's so easy to get discouraged when things get tough, but Coach Clance reminds us that those challenges are what shape us, what make us stronger, both physically and mentally.
Yeah. So as we wrap up this deep dive, here's a final thought-provoking question for you.
Okay.
How can you apply these principles to your own life?
Right.
What areas can you focus on to build resilience, to push through those limits?
To come back stronger than ever.
That's it for our deep dive into Coach Clance Laylor's insights on injury recovery and building resilience.
We'll include links to his blog post and those anatomy books he recommends in the show notes.
And we'd love to hear your takeaways.
Yeah.
What resonated with you? How are you going to apply these principles to your own life? Share your thoughts on our social media channels or leave us a comment on the website.
Until next time.
Yeah.
Keep exploring.
Okay.
Keep learning and keep diving deep.
See you next time.